Hello everybody, today is project pan update and we have a few changes, so there's plenty to talk about today. A lot going on in project pan land. If you're new to the channel, project panning is really something that I've been doing for years at this point. This is my third year of project panning and I'm very faithful with it. I mean it, and I do quite well in my project pans generally. The whole theory about why I'm doing it personally is because I really hate waste. I have been a little bit of a makeup junkie. I'm really not buying much these days at all to try and keep my collection contained, and I don't want it to be a collection. I want it to be just the stuff I'm using. So I don't want it to like lay there and collect dust. I don't want things to spoil. I want to be active in using my beauty products. So this is kind of the whole point. I'm reining it in and making myself accountable for the stuff that I've bought because it reminds me how long it takes to actually use things up. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is the product that I've added last time because I did finish up my vitamin C silicone-based primer from the Body Shop, which I thought was a good primer. I didn't mind it. It was really heavily scented. I would have preferred if it wasn't, so I would have possibly repurchased it if it wasn't so heavily scented. I don't think vitamin C was a big selling point for me because it was in the silicone base, so vitamin C wouldn't penetrate very far into the skin with a silicone base. It really needs a lighter molecule carrier to get through. But I thought to myself, hey, I really enjoyed having that pore filling smoothing effect of that other primer. I'm going to include another, what it says is a smoothing primer, and it's Clarins Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch. I haven't noticed much of a difference when applying this. My skin doesn't look any smoother, or barely any smoother at all. This was just very disappointing in terms of its function. I did use it some, maybe a few times, and after a few times I just thought to myself, well, it's slightly moisturizing and maybe a touch smoothing, but I can do better than that. This barely did anything for me at all, so I'm just gonna pass it on while it's still fresh. I don't need to be hoarding this. This just doesn't work for me, and I don't reach for it. I didn't like it. It didn't do enough. It wasn't objectionable or nasty, but it didn't do enough for me to warrant its use really, so it was kind of a waste of time to use. The stuff that I'm including instead is something that I actually like and use all the time. This is Hynt Beauty Day Prep Defense Primer. It is also considered a primer. It's one of those moisturizing primers, aloe vera based, from a clean company. Hynt Beauty is a clean company. They do very, very wonderful formulations. I've been impressed with a few products that I did try from them. And this one has SPF. It's not marketed as such. In the US it is, in Canada it isn't. But it is SPF 25, which isn't much, but it's enough to sort of start the day off. And I use it in conjunction with a powder that does have a little bit of SPF in it as well. I'll get to it. So this is a primer that actually does something. It does moisturize, and it does have SPF. So those are the two things, the two functions that I care about and I do want. And although this is not smoothing at all, those two functions are enough to make me want to use it more or want to use it every day. And I've been reaching for it every day as my morning time SPF, and it's really worked so well for me that I'm like, well, why am I not including it into my project pan? There's no reason. Let's include it. This is going to be my primer, and I'm pretty faithful to using it right now. There's 15 mils in this bottle. The bottle's pricey. It's about 65 bucks, I think, Canadian, from the detox market. I still haven't decided if I'll repurchase it, but I do know I really, really like it. It's been my hero products before. It's really good. I'll have to think about whether I want to get my hands on it again as a repurchase or if I want to try something else. I'm adventurous with my SPF, and I'm always on the lookout for new formulations, so I probably will try something else, although this could be my backup in case I don't like it. I could go back to it. I do like it a lot, and I will finish it up. The foundation is Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. This is an equivalent of Face and Body and those, like, you know, watery serum foundations. It's really nice film forming on the skin, very long wearing, sheer coverage. So sheer coverage and long wearing doesn't really usually jive together, and it has a luminous, natural to luminous finish. All the things that I like in a foundation. I did do a little tiny bit of damage on it, meaning that I used it a little bit more, but now I'm putting it aside. It's still going to remain obviously in my project pan, but the thing is, I'm too tan for it. Tan. I'm still pale. I know. But this is about as tan as I've gotten in many years, and that can be traced back to the fact that my husband and I started paddleboarding. So we have been out and about on the lake a lot, and the water reflects a lot of sunlight. So, you know, yes, I'm still pretty light-skinned, very light-skinned, but this is very tan for, or reasonably tan for me, for my level of not tanning ever at all and taking care of my skin. I'm still wearing SPF, but you know, water sports. It is what it is. So my skin's slightly darker, and it's too dark for this foundation. This foundation will suit me very nicely in the fall and winter, but for right now, it just doesn't suit my skin tone, and I'm just going to put it aside and continue using a powder, which is this one. I'll talk about in a second, and spot concealing. And it's summertime, so it's just nicer to have lighter weight, no foundation on your skin. It's kind of a nice feeling. So this one I'm expecting to have no use out of for a long time. The powder I was referring to is my Physicians Formula powder. I've been using it since when I was doing my master's, and I didn't have much to spend on makeup, so I spent where I thought was most reasonable, and Physicians Formula was a fairly reasonably priced line for the kind of quality that you were getting. So this one is a repurchase many times over for the last 10 years, basically. So this is not a new product to me. Obviously, this one is newish. I bought it less than 6 months ago. This is what it looks like. Huge pan, and the pan is getting bigger and bigger, obviously, because I'm using it pretty much daily. I still didn't tell you what it was. It's Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder in Translucent Light. Translucent Light is a color that I have to go with. This is the lightest color they have in that line of powders. Again, talc-free powders. So if talc doesn't do well with you, and talc is fine with me, I do use it in other powders, but you know, talc always has a problem with potentially being contaminated with asbestos if it comes from a dodgy supply. So this guy is really nice. It's very good for dry skin. It mattifies but doesn't make anything look dry, doesn't catch on dry patches very much. It's a creamy powder. There's a slight kick up to it, so you know, it's not entirely perfect, but almost. It's repurchased by me many times over. Ugly ass packaging. I really hate the packaging. They really should work on this. I mean, this is horrible. But the product is so good that I keep repurchasing, even though I could move on to higher end powders. This is just really great and better than most that I've tried from higher end brands. I keep going back to it because it's just that good, and I recommend you try it if you can find a color. Unfortunately, one of the caveats with Physicians Formula is they suck at color selection, so it's very difficult to find something decent in terms of color range. This only works for me when I'm a little bit tanned, or if I caught a touch of sun. When I'm at my palest, this is too dark for me. When they don't have a lighter color, this is the lightest. And I'm not even going to go into the darker skin tones, that they just don't have anything representing you guys. It's ridiculous. So they're missing out on a huge chunk of the market, and they really shouldn't. Next is my Stila palette. This is Sunrise Splendor Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek Palette. This is one of the best products I think Stila makes. It's their cream blush and lip product. I don't like it for lips, it's drying, but for blush it's wonderful and creamy and slightly dewy and long wearing and just gorgeous. I love this formula. I've used up a full pot of a couple of these colors before, and now I really appreciate having a palette where I can mix and match. I've been using it a little bit, but not very much, because I've been using another product for the cheeks more, but I'm on my way back to using it. I really enjoy it, so I should invest time and effort into picking it back up more. Then we have a product that I included last time. This is by Beauty Multistick and Cashew. Decent use on it, like you don't use a lot at the time. It's a very pigmented product, and this is one of those multi-sticks, meaning that you can use it for your eyelids, for your cheeks, for your lips. I only like it for my cheeks and eyelids. For the lips, it's a bit drying, I would say, although wearable. You know, if you like matte formulas. I hate matte formulas, so it doesn't work for me, but if you don't hate matte formulas, it might be a very good choice for you. And it's a little bit of a drier formula, so I wouldn't just draw it onto your skin. It's harder to blend that way. I would warm it up on the fingertips first and then apply it with the fingertips, or I sometimes, if I want a wash of color on the cheeks, for instance, I'll use this duo fiber brush. I just sort of put it a little bit on the tips of these bristles, and then I buff it into wherever I want it to go, and that works really well too. The packaging is really nice. It's magnetic, so very satisfying and doesn't get opened. If you travel a lot and you enjoy a drier long-wearing formula, this is actually quite a good buy. I'm not sure if I enjoy the drier formula enough to get another color, but so far it's been fine. It's good. I like it, but there is this dryness to the formula that is not new. I bought it that way. This is fresh. The dryness is there. So if you like a drier formula of a stick product, you might enjoy it. If you hate the dryness of a formula in a stick, you will probably not like it quite as much. So just something to be aware of. Next, we have this diorskin Nude Air Luminizer illuminator, basically. It's in the color 002, and this is my pride and joy. I really like this product. It's on me today. This is what it looks like. I've reached pan pretty much all the way around this edge, and once I get to this side, sort of used up, and I think it won't be too long. I think it'll be maybe another couple of months, maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and I'll be absolutely done with it, and I'm really happy because a highlighter is hard to use up, and this is a big sort of, so to say, achievement if you're into panning world. It's a wonderful pink tone illuminator. Here, I have to say, if you're of a darker skin tone, you will find colors that will suit you in their lineup. There's a much better color range and takes into account not only skin, like melanin intensity in your skin, but also the undertone. So cooler and warmer highlights are available. So I think worth checking out if you are a fan of Dior, or if that is a price range that you're okay with. Not bad at all. Really not too shabby. Another Physicians Formula long time love from my master's studying days is Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips Custom Eye Enhancing Eyeliner Trio from the trio Nude Eyes. It's a nice trio. I have repurchased this many times. I don't know how many, but many. And it's one of those cream gel liners that stay blendable for just maybe 10 seconds or so, and then they set and then they don't budge. They don't move. They are there for the entire day. This is matte. This is black. This is very saturated. It's a great liner on a reasonable budget. I would totally recommend you check them out, and you get 3 for like 11 bucks. So the price is really fair. That's Canadian. And the price is really fair. The colors are good. I enjoy their color selection. They have some shimmery ones. They have some matte ones. It's just a good buy, I think. A really good quality. I've been buying these for years, and it's hard for me to find something that I enjoy better. Also, these are retractable. This one is completely empty. I've used it up entirely, and it has a little sharpener on the end to keep the tip pointy. In general, just an easy no-brainer, honestly. These are so affordable compared to some of the higher-end alternatives for the same kind of quality that I'm impressed enough to continue purchasing, and I probably will in the future. I have a few pencils going on right now, so not this very moment, but maybe once a year I repurchase one of those trios, and it works for me very nicely. I'm replacing that, the Physicians Formula pencil that I just finished up, with this liquid liner. This is from Pure Anada, and it's called Natural Liquid Eyeliner, and it is a really nice liquid eyeliner. It's on me today. I've been wearing this look for a while, and it's starting, like, it's a liquid liner that I've been wearing for a bit. It has this classic brush. It's a very classic liquid liner. It's reasonably easy to apply. I like the formula. It's not the blackest black ever, and I have to say it's not entirely matte. It's not fully matte, but it's like a natural, non-glossy, non-matte, somewhere in the middle finish. I definitely like it enough to finish it up. Pure Anada did send it to me in a PR package to try. I enjoy this. I don't think it's like the best liquid eyeliner I've ever tried. However, I do think that it's really good for a clean, natural brand because they are super clean. Like, they don't have any toxic or questionable stuff in the formulation. And this is the best clean one that I've tried, for sure. But like, for instance, my very favorite liquid liners are not the classic ones. I like the ones like the Kat Von D liquid liner or the Stila ones. I like the ones with a calligraphy tip. They're just the easiest for me to use. This is not difficult to use, and I'm pretty close to being done with it, so I don't think it'll last me a ton of time. So while it's still fresh, I'm going to try and use it up completely because I really like it, and it works really well, and it wears fairly well. Like, this has been on for maybe 13 hours, so it's pretty great, I think. Good wear. Good job, Pure Anada. This guy I've been using on my cheeks, and this is a lipstick. This is lip color in 18 Addison from Tom Ford. It wasn't the right color when I picked it up. It was like a pale pink, so I thought, I'm gonna be twiggy. And it turns out I don't like pale pinks on me. They kind of wash me out a little bit. Don't flatter me a ton, or maybe that wasn't the right shade for me, possibly. So I wasn't like totally impressed by this. The color was fine. That was up to me which color I chose, obviously, but the formula was nice. It wasn't anything like mind-blowing. It was just a nice lipstick. Not worth the 50 bucks that this tiny tube cost me, so I wouldn't go with it. And if I were you, I wouldn't go with it, regardless of what you can or cannot afford. This is definitely not worth it, in my humble opinion. I just don't think it's interesting or special enough in terms of its formula. So I'm happy to be done, and I'm reporting, phew, finished. Yay. I'm not gonna miss it. I'm not gonna buy it again. Goodbye, Tom Ford. I am replacing it with something that I like much, much better, and it's a Clinique pep-start pout perfecting balm in the color guava. I'm pulling this for summer because really in no other time of the year will I wear this kind of a lip color, and it's bright pink, but applied in one layer. It's really sheer, barely any color, so it's tolerable. It's not going to be like, woohoo, hey, bright pink at all times. There's not a ton left, as you can see. I do like these. These are my second favorite in terms of stick tinted lip balms. My first favorite is the Fresh Sugar, but if you can't get your hands on Fresh Sugar, or if you find the prices are objectionable, which I do, I find prices objectionable. I've been buying them for years. But you know what? I might move to using these instead. These are really nice and on 2 layers. It really feels thick and nourishing. They leave my lips feeling very moisturized. I enjoy them a lot. I think this is a good formula, guys, and they do have a variety of colors. It was a very pleasant surprise. I picked them up in a set of 3 different colors randomly because they were at the checkout in Sephora. Need to stop doing that. Sephora gets me every single time, and they can't anymore. I need to walk right by with my head held up high, not looking at those aisles. And I don't hear a lot of people talk about this guy, so let me know if you've heard of the Clinique pep-start pout perfecting balm, and if you've used it. Do you like it as much as I like it? Because I think it's really brilliant, really nice, really a nice product. Okay, the last one on the roster today is my brow product, and this is Nude by Nature Precision Brow Mascara in 02 Brown. Beautiful packaging. Nude by Nature does very pretty packaging. Good product. Gotta tell you, when I initially purchased it, didn't love it. Mostly it was quite wet. So it kind of smudged a little bit and wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. Now that I've used it a while, it's starting to dry up, and I really like the formula a lot more now. It has this tiny little spoolie, so I bought it because it looked like something I would like. The color is fine for me. I have to say though, once it dries up, maybe you should intentionally dry it up when you buy it. It gets a little moussey, and it really sort of sticks your brows up and brushes through them, fixing them up however you want to, and it does leave a little texture behind, which I like. So this is actually quite good right now. I would say though that it's like ions better after it dried up a little bit, and now the formula is a little thicker. It's much better now. I did not enjoy it as much when it was liquidy. I thought, okay, gel. Now that it's a little bit thicker and it's a little bit moussier and fibrous, I love it. It's much better. I still think, well, right now the texture reminds me of the little brow gel from Clinique that I love and is my favorite. I like it better than the Glossier Boy Brow. I like it better than the Benefit brow thing. It is just the best one that I've found for myself. And this is pretty great. It's probably almost as good, not quite as good, but pretty great once it dries up and thickens up. So that's my project pan. This is what's going on. Generally, I'm getting rid of this. I have used up this and this, and I've added this and this. There's quite a bit of change going on. That's it for today. I hope it was fun for you to watch my little update on Project Pan, and have a good day. Good luck. Leave comments down below if you have questions about anything or comments about anything that we talked about today. See you guys later. Bye-bye.